All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to today's training with our online business coach, Trisha. I'm super excited for this one today, me personally, because it's about copywriting. And guys, if you don't know your copywriting skills, if you're just typing long paragraphs, I can guarantee you're not getting the engagement or the results that you deserve. Copywriting is the most essential part of getting your message across when we're doing this digital entrepreneur lifestyle, right? When you're writing an email to somebody, when you're writing a Facebook post, even when you're just writing back and forth messages with people, all of these things are copywriting, right? Whether you've realized it or not, when you're looking at magazines, newspapers, Facebook ads, people's posts, maybe someone's blog that you follow, all of these things are simply copywriting. And the better the skill of the copywriter, the better that piece of content will be. The better it will speak to the people and hit their heartstrings. It'll hit their ego. It'll hit their emotion. And it'll get them to take appropriate action, whatever that action is you want them to do, right? So for me, I've never learned copywriting. I've never studied it. I've never even really watched any videos on it. I'm a very amateur copywriter, okay? So today I am super excited to listen to Trisha and her class about copywriting because I need to up my copy game. I know that for sure. And if you're watching this today, even if you're an experienced copywriter, I'm sure you can pull some golden nuggets from it. And if you're new to the game or you're looking to increase your copywriting skills, you're in the right place because Trisha's going to drop some knowledge for us. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, take notes because that's what I'm going to be doing. And we're going to learn everything about copywriting that you need to do to make yourself known and to make your message heard. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Trisha and let's learn about the art of copywriting. Trisha, take it away.
Thank you, Sivi. Well, you're so right when you say that copywriting is an essential skill. If you are an entrepreneur, there are some skills that you really, really have to master, right? Because the greatest asset of an entrepreneur is his skills, right? Times change. You might be successful at one moment and something might happen and, everything, you might just lose everything. But if you have your skills, you will come right back up because of those skills. And copywriting is one of those essential skills that it is a must that you know it. All right. So without further ado, we'll just jump on to the presentation. Sivi, is the screen visible now, my presentation?
Yes, we can see it, but it's not full screen.
Okay, there you go. Is it full screen now?
No.
Okay, I think it's going to come up because it's full screen on my end.
No.
Okay, it's full screen on my end. I think maybe as we progress, it should come up. All right, guys, so what is copywriting? I think by and far I've loved this quote the best, or the definition of copywriting, and that is copywriting is closing in print. And this is by one of my mentors, Dan Locke. I went through his copywriting training, and there's so much I learned from that, and I think that's where my copywriting journey actually started. And ever since, I have been really, really working hard on my copywriting skills. One reason is that I really, really love copywriting. I love writing. So it's like, learning new things, and, putting things in in different ways, and just working on this skill is something that gives me a lot of pleasure. And if you are an introvert like me, you definitely want to be learning copywriting, okay? So it is closing in print. So if you are not that good, in talking to people, then this is something that you really want to learn. Is it still not full screen on your NCV?
No, it's not.
So I think there's probably there's something in Hangout because it's full screen on my end. All right.
Well, in that case, there's nothing we can do, right? It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so please excuse us. These are just technical uh, glitches that we have to face. But hey, I'm speaking, and you can at least see the slides. All right, so let's just go through it. So copywriting is closing in print, which means that you close your prospect on print, right? And how do you close that prospect is something that we are going to be discussing in the forthcoming slides. So copywriting number one is set yourself a word count to ensure that your copy is laser focused. So this is like really, really important that you just don't want to keep on writing a copy. And the secret to write a good copy is that, first of all, just go ahead and write whatever you have on your mind. Okay, I will also share with you what all key points you have to keep on mind when you're writing a good copy. So, give yourself a word count. Don't just keep writing, writing, writing. So what I do is, first of all, I just, depending on the type of copy I'm writing, I will say if it's a long copy, so what I do is maybe uh put a word count of 1000 words or maybe 500 words. Like I said, it just depends on what you are writing, and be very laser focused and try to stick to that number. All right, that's really, really important, because otherwise, it's like going to be too long. And human attention span is really, really short. So you want to be creating a copy that people, don't get they don't get tired reading off. So that's what you have to do. The next thing is use plenty of paragraph breaks. Write short paragraphs, because if the paragraph is very long, people would get tired. So even I have seen this, like if the paragraphs are short, so people move from one paragraph to the second paragraph to the third paragraph. Okay, so that's what your copy should look like. It should have a lot of uh, paragraph breaks, right? Um, Suppose I'm writing a copy, my one paragraph doesn't consist of more than 4 lines. I try to keep it to 4 lines, or maybe maximum 5 lines, but I would say that 3 or 4 lines is like ideal. Next thing is put your customers first, okay? Don't just start talking about your product or yourself. You have to talk about your customers, because that is what attracts people when they see, oh yeah, yeah, when they feel that, oh, it's about me. Oh yeah, they say, oh yeah, this is my problem. Oh yeah, this is what I want to learn. So that's what attracts them. Okay. It doesn't matter what a product is, it doesn't matter what you are. No one is interested in that. What people are interested is like, how is your stuff going to help them? Right? That is really, really important. Use everyday language to engage with as wide an audience as possible. Okay. Don't try to use these technical jargons or these fancy words. Just write a copy as if you would talk, right? Whatever the way you talk, write the copy in the same manner. The words that you use, uh, just your own language, because people connect with that. No one connects with an extra formal language or No one wants to actually be in an English literature class. People want to be able to relate to what it is, and if it's everyday language, they relate to it more, they understand it more. Okay, use headings to make your key points get noticed. Headings are really, really good. So use headings, okay? Because headings are, it's just the way our human brain works. You have to understand that. As soon as people see a heading, they are like, their mind gets focused on the headings, right? So put headings as well, and be authentic. Don't claim anything that's not there, or don't be over don't claim things too much. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. Don't do that, right? Just be authentic, just the way you would like to hear stuff, right? If it is something that's too good to be true, people would just run for their life. know they will not trust you. Okay, whatever, your product is great. So my thing is always over deliver and under commit, right? Maybe if your product has 10 advantages, highlight 5. Okay, that's good enough to attract the person, because if you're putting 10 advantages, he's like, oh my god, it's too good, and he's not going to trust you on that, right? So this is something, be authentic, don't overclaim anything. Just remain balanced, okay? Just remain balanced. And when you're writing a copy, don't be desperate that, I've got to get this person, I got to get this person. No, just be authentic and just be normal, okay? And try to make your copy as good as possible. Tell a story to be remembered. I think this is an essential, like a essential trait, again, essential skill in marketing, that you should know how to tell stories. I'll give you a secret here. I use a lot of stories, and the thing is, people remember stories, right? Because stories appeal to our emotions, right? And when you are writing a story, what you do is, along with the story, you mention the pain points that people have, right? Because at the end of the day, your what should I say, your experiences and other people's experiences on a human level are more or less the same. Yeah, the events in your life could be different, but experiences of sorrow and whatever experiences, like we love family times, right? We love to travel and all that stuff. So those emotions are basically the same. When you're writing a story, make sure you appeal to those emotions of the people, right? That is the reason, when we are, when you suppose you're writing a copy about a weight loss product, if you just go ahead and mention the advantages of the product, people will be, oh, good, that's good, all right, fine. When you share maybe your story, personal story of your weight loss journey, or maybe uh, one of your team members, people will really relate to it. All right. For example, let me give you an example here. Say you are, say you were overweight. Okay. You can say that, when I was overweight, I had these confidence issues. I wouldn't go out to many parties because I'd see these fit people wearing great dresses, and I couldn't wear that. I had to be in my jeans and jacket, and I didn't feel good about myself, and I had so many health problems, all that stuff, you see. So those people who are overweight would relate to it and say, oh yeah, 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 it's the same with me. And that's how you attract people. Okay, that's how you attract people. It's on the first slide. Oh, what's wrong? Let me just. What slide do you see now, Sivi?
Third slide now.
Okay. What slide do you see now?
Second slide.
Second slide. Slide 1 on my end. Now?
Second slide.
Okay, let's just wait for a second because here on my end it's like slide 3 and full screen. It's still the second slide?
Yes, it's what is copywriting, Dan Locke quote.
I think there is some problem in Hangout. I don't know because I see it's slide 3 on my end. Still slide 2?
Yes.
What's wrong? Why is it stuck on slide 2?
I don't know. Maybe you can just look at the slide and you can give us a lesson just with your face, and you can just freestyle, maybe.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Can you just is it slide 3 now?
Copywriting secrets, yes.
Yeah, so let's just do it without a full screen. I think there's a problem with full screen. Okay. The next thing is use emotion to boost your conversion rates. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Because if you remember this philosophy forever, you will really excel in your marketing. People don't ever forget how you made them feel. So when you're writing a copy, make sure you appeal to those emotions. This is really important. Okay? Write down all the problems that your product or service solves. Okay, like I said, stick to maybe 4 or 5. Don't enlist all the 10 problems that it solves. Otherwise, it becomes too good to be true for them. Okay, later on, when that person starts to use your product or service, the testimonial will do the work. So, when we write a copy, what we do is we also attach testimonials to it, right? That's a way of showing and proving your authenticity. That's a great way. So we always use testimonials along with our copy. Okay? Attach some descriptive emotions to those problems, right? You have a problem, maybe descriptive emotions in the sense, when I was overweight, I felt so depressed and I had this low self-esteem. You see this? Instantly it starts to build up emotions in the person because when you do this, the person relates to you. Okay, the person relates to you. Or for example, if you are into marketing and you're helping marketers, it say that, oh my god, I was so sick and tired of spinning my wheels and I just looked up to heaven. You know what, I really need to get out of this. I was neck deep into debts and I didn't know what to do. I did whatever was there in my capacity, but still I just failed, and failed. And that's exactly when heaven answered my prayers and I came across my millionaire mentor. That's actually my story, This is what I use, right? So anyone I mean, most of the marketers, they go through this, right? So most of the people will relate to it. It's really going to bring up the emotions in the heart. They can relate to it. Yes, you know what? I'm going through the same thing, and I know how she was feeling. And wow, you know what? When she could do it, I could do it too. You see how powerful the story is? That's what you do. Structure your copy so that you firstly show empathy with the reader. Empathy is really, really important. If you just talk about the products or services and all that stuff, the reader will not actually, again, relate to you that well. But if you empathize and you say that, hey, you know what, I know what you're going through because I was there at one time. Instant empathy. They know, oh, okay, this person was there where I am. And great, this person would understand my pain. You see this, how powerful it is? Then show how your product and service would help them. First, you mention the pain points, you empathize, you share a story, and then you tell that, how the product or service will help them, right? You could, again, like I said, you can share your story. You can share a story of your customer or your business partner, or maybe just create a copy without a story. What you can do is just create a simple copy and then share someone's story with it, right? The different ways in which you can do it. It's totally a creative, thing to do. So once you know what all elements a copy has, and once you know the rules to write a copy, you can just get creative the way you want. You can just start writing the copy you want, okay? Finish by reaffirming how much happier they will be. Okay, so just you know what, once you do this, you will see you'll be so happy. You'll feel healthy. You will be able to exercise. You will be able to wear whatever you want. You will be able to eat whatever you want without worrying about those calories, right? It might be another, maybe a keto product, and it can say that, hey, you know what, once you start having this, you will not have to worry about the fats that you eat or whatever. I don't do keto, but yeah, it's just giving an example of, whatever you do, how happy you would be. Like maybe you learn the marketing skills and you will know how to be successful. And secondly, you will maybe you lose your weight and you'll see how happy you feel. You go on a keto diet, you will be so happy about it. So just talk about the advantages and how their life will change. Okay, that is really, really important. Think about the hierarchy of your messages so that the lazy readers don't miss your main point. This is really important. So because I'm a journalist, so I follow the pyramid method. So what's the pyramid method? The pyramid method is you first talk about the most important points, okay? You talk about the most important points and the highlights, and you put it in first paragraph or the beginning of the copy. Then you talk about the not so important stuff, and then you just reduce it. But generally, what I would do is, in the first paragraph, I would write something that's a mix of everything, and what it does, it instantly grabs the attention. And then in the other paragraphs, what I do is I just get descriptive based on the rules that I just shared with you. Okay. So it's not always what you're selling that matters, it's the way you are selling it. Right? So times have really changed. The salesy method doesn't really work. I don't know if you have seen the trend of advertisements. They have started, showing stories as well, short stories, on how a particular product changed person's life, right? So it's got more of a story. Copywriting and these advertising is getting more and more story based, because that's what attracts readers and the audience, right? So how will you, I think the best way to present something is by sharing the user experience, right? And what that's exactly what now the copywriting trend and the advertisement trend is getting into. So how you sell, if you're like too salesy, people are like, oh yeah, right, this person just wants to sell to me. So people have become really aware, people have become really smart, what choices they want to make. They're much more educated in comparison to what people were maybe even 10 years back or 5 years back, because media has really educated people. People know, people are very aware these days, right? And especially the internet. We all, if you want to find out about anything, say, you know what, like if someone says that, oh, you know what, this product is really good for this. For example, let me just tell you, this great product that's NRF2, right? It says that it takes care of your oxidative stress. All right. So what I'll do is I will go to Google and I'll find out what is oxidative stress, and then I will compare whatever the people are claiming in that maybe copy, or whatever the person shared with me, right? So people have become really aware because of the internet. So you need to keep that in mind, that you cannot fool people. Don't even try to do that, because a copy is all about authenticity, like I said. Okay? So you have to be really smart when you write a copy. Okay? Give information. I when I'm writing a copy, I try to educate people also. Maybe a couple of paragraphs or one paragraph will be on education. So when a copy is a mix of all these elements, people will not try to Google, because you are like giving them all the information that they need, right? You're educating them, you're appealing to their emotions, you're telling them the advantages. So that is what, if you're giving half information, then people are definitely going to Google, right? And so you have to be really, you need to know your product really well and your services really well. How can you help people? So, I think experience is the best thing, because when you've experienced something, or someone close to you has experienced that, you become more authentic. And that's the reason stories are something that really help. Once, people are, you appeal to those emotions, and people are like, okay, yeah, this is great. The thing is, people buy with emotions and justify with logic. It's as simple as that. If you are able to appeal to those emotions, people will not go anywhere. So it is how well you appeal to those emotions, how well you create that bond. That is something that's really important. People don't read ads, people read what interests them, okay? So don't think about what you are, what your product is. People really don't care. All right, people will see what in and how read what interests them, and what interests them is their own interest. How is your product or service going to change their life, bottom line? Right? So that's the object. See, whenever you are writing a copy, you need to have an objective, right? And the objective is a sale. And how do you get that sale? If you identify with your own self, whenever I write a copy, or I'm doing a video, or whatever I do, I always think about this first, that when I was in that stage, what did I need? What were those things that appealed to me? And I instantly get the answer, and I know what to write. Right? That is something that you have to keep in mind. that it's never about you, it's about them. Okay? And since human beings are just the same, you are going to think about your experiences and present it in a way that attracts them. So no one counts the number of ads you run, they just remember the impression you make. You might be running, you must have maybe probably ran 10 ads in the past. No one even looked at it. But one ad might just make up for all the other ads. So, I took this training on story ads. Okay, that was, I think, 2 years back or 1.5 years back. It's a great training by Justice Egan. Okay, so that was the first time that I came across story ads, and he actually showed us the comparison. So the greatest, so everyone started running ads, and the most successful ad is, we did the case study. So there's this lady who had diabetes, okay, and she had ended up in the hospital and she almost died. What she did is she wrote her story. Okay, so when you're writing your story, everything just falls into place. You get the perfect words, everything, because you're writing with emotions. She wrote the story of her life, and along with that, she added a lead magnet. And you just won't believe the results. They were just staggering. Overnight, she built her business with just one Facebook ad. And that was her story. Okay? So this is what you need to keep in mind. That's the impression. So they think, all right, you know what? This person, they would think, oh, okay, she's in the same position that I am, and this product, oh my God, this product saved her life. I want to use this product. And like she's super successful now just because of that ad. Right? You see how powerful it is? Be an influencer. I'd say, oh, okay, how can I be an influencer? I'm not that successful. I have found that the way to influence, three ways. One is inspiring people to be like yourself. Right? People want to be what you are. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, or it doesn't matter if you're a five-figure earner, or it doesn't even matter if you're making $5,000 to $10,000. I mean, $5,000, $6,000. It doesn't matter. What matters to people is how have you triumphed over your challenges in life? What have you done? What did you do or reach to a point that you are at now? Right? For example, you are earning $3,000 in your business right now. There would be people who are struggling to make even $100 in a month. So when you share your story of how you reached the $3,000 in a month, you are going to blaze a trail for them with your stories, with what you did. That is really important. So with my experience, what I have come to learn is if you want to be an influencer, share your stories of your struggle. How did you triumph over those challenges? Number two, educate people. And number three, give massive value. That's how you can be an influencer. And if you give people the teaser of your life in your copy, it's going to be really great. Okay? Take care of all the objections. This is really important. Since you were there in that situation, you know the objections, right? If you're selling a weight loss product, you definitely should be knowing the objections that people have. If you're into marketing and you're selling a high ticket product, you should definitely be knowing the objections that people have, right? It is so important because that's what how you close, right? If you're not able to answer the objections, or if you're not even talking about the objections, you will not be able to close. What you want is you're writing a copy, all right? You mention everything, and then you talk about the objections, right? So like it's really expensive. Like if you're doing a high ticket, it's an expensive product, or I don't know how can I sell it, and all that stuff. There's several questions. All the questions that you had on your mind, write it down on a piece of paper. So generally when I write a copy, it takes me at least 2 to 3 days because I keep trimming it, and you just have to keep writing it until it just becomes perfect. All right? And then have a call to action because you need to tell people what they want to do. You really need to tell people what they want to do, right? Until you tell them what to do, they will never take action, right? Create scarcity that you know what, you have to do it by this time. And so I would say you close the copy with handling the objections. Secondly, you've already mentioned that how will it change their life. What I would like to do is, I do many times, is I mention also how painful it will be if they don't take an action, and then I put my call to action. The side effects of not taking action. For example, if you don't lose your weight right now, you might end up in the hospital in the bed with a cardiac arrest or heart attack or whatever. Right? Many times people don't think about it. You have to make them think about it. You need to give them a food for thought that, yeah, you know what? If you don't do this, this is what you will be suffering. So people don't think, right? They just go through life. Most of the people are just going through life without thinking about anything. And you have to make them think, right? You have to make them think. You are a smart marketer when you can help people, you can educate people, you can take care of their problems, you can tell them the advantages, and finally also tell them that if they don't take action, what pain are they going to suffer? Because many people just blind themselves. Yeah, even though they're overweight, they would just want to keep having the pizzas and ice cream sitting on the couch watching the television. Same thing, if you don't make money, how will you, you'll be depressed, right? You might go homeless. You might not be able to pay for the education of your kids. Your spouse might just divorce you because you don't have money and you're not doing anything about it, right? These are like examples that I'm giving. It depends on what product you're selling and how you want to induce a bit of fear in them, the pain of not taking action. And immediately after that, give a call to action, right? So that's what a good copy is all about. If you have any questions, I think we can just take the questions.
Cool. That was awesome. Thanks, Trisha. Very good. Yeah, even like when I'm writing copy, it's funny because I was literally writing a post as I was listening to you, and I was listening to you talk about how to structure the post, and I wrote a post just now and I posted it, and it's totally different than how I've ever written copy before. So that's amazing.
Awesome.
That was like real time copywriting class, and I put that right into action instantly. So for you guys watching, if you're watching this on the replay, of course you can just rewind, go to specific parts of the presentation, and you can use that information instantly right now to up your copy game, right? Because as Trisha said, the copy is really where the information is going into the eyeballs and where you're actually creating the internal dialogue with your prospect, with your friend, with whoever you're talking to, right? You're speaking to them. You have to get inside their mind and make them curious and think and get into the stories and all the stuff that she mentioned. And you can't do it if you don't have copywriting skills. And
It's
it is
actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, very sorry. I just wanted to add to what he said. It has to go from your eyeballs to their heart.
Yes, yes. It has to go from the eyeballs to the heart. Exactly. You know, when I read people's copy, some people's copy really speaks to you, right? Like you read it and you're all like, oh my God, that's an amazing story. Oh, what am I going to do? What do they want me? Oh, I clicked it, call to action. Cool. And then it takes you to where you're going. Meanwhile, other people's copy, you just scroll right past it. Or if you open the email, it's too much. It's a ton of garbage that you're just like, oh, it's overwhelming. So having that skill to actually write quality copy and be able to translate that into emotion and get the person to move and motivate them to take action, that is a true skill. So I'm very happy that you exposed those secrets for us today, Trisha. That's awesome.
My pleasure.
That's cool. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewind this and watch this a few times today. I'm going to consider you my copy coach today, Trisha, and I'm going to watch this 3 or 4 times.
Thank you.
Right?
I'm humbled to be a copy coach.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my email swipes and stuff, and I'm going to adjust them all based on your training from today, because I got immense value from it. And so did my friends. So you have an audience.
Hi.
Right? So we're broadcasting live around the world via the internet, but we also have a live audience here. And, you know, I'm sitting in a hotel here. My wife works at this hotel, and writing copy is one of the major things that drives revenue inside the hospitality world as well. So this is a skill that's transferable across all industries. So that's an amazing thing. Thank you for teaching us that today, Trisha. It's very high value stuff.
Happy to share.
And that's just awesome. I love it. So what's our next training going to be on? Any ideas?
Next training is going to be video marketing, and that's also essential. So we're covering all the essential skills. And there's one more thing. I'm actually doing free training sessions. So if that's a business breakthrough free training session that I'm doing, because you know I just love to help people. It's 2019, and a lot of people are just struggling. So if anyone wants, you can just reach out to me or Civi, and Civi will tell you. I will be doing a live actually on my wall today. So if anyone needs that, feel free to reach out to me or Civi, and we'll do that. We'll be covering video marketing because as I want to tell you something, that whether you're talking about print or you're talking about a video, you need to write a copy anyway. Okay, when you are speaking, you should have those points written down, or you should have the structure on your mind, because you just don't want to keep on blabbering and talking about yourself or the product, right? Even when you're speaking, you need to have the structure of a copy on in your mind, so that when you're speaking, it's you know exactly what you want to speak, and you're able to close as you speak.
Yeah, exactly. That's completely right. I'm really looking forward to that video training as well, because I mean, if you guys have been following me, you know I love video. Everybody loves video. It seems to be the most effective way of marketing these days, because people's attention spans are so short. If you can just talk and get it going, but of course you can't just blab. And I personally have a problem with blabbing. So I really look forward to listening to how you structure your video marketing stuff. And that's just amazing. I look forward to it. So that'll be next week, right, Trisha?
Yes, so it's, the thing is, when you're doing videos, you give people an instant quick fix, right? So that's my video strategy, that when I'm doing a video, what I do is I share a solution with people. I share a strategy that they can immediately implement and get instant results. So that's the strategy that you want to use in videos. And I'll tell you how we make money with videos. I've like made $200 to $1,000 in a single day with just my videos. I'll be sharing all those secrets with you. And yeah, if you need any help, Sivi and I are there, right? Sivi is a great leader. He helps people. And the very fact that, he has arranged this series of webinars, and like we're coming up every single week to help you, is the fact that, Sivi is a great leader because he wants to help you, right? So Sivi and I are actually a part of a Millennium Mentoring Group. All right, we've got great success stories in the group, and we help people actually with their business breakthroughs. And that's the reason I'm doing this. So if you are at a point where you're just tired of spinning your wheels, like I was, like Sivi was at one time, so just feel free to reach out to us, and either Sivi or I can hop on a call with you. We can talk about your goals, and we can see uh, how we can help you to get a breakthrough in your business.
Yes, exactly. Very well said, Trisha. Thank you for that. You're watching this video now. If you can click the link in the description on YouTube, or there's a Get Started Now button below this video, you can click that. It'll take you to some more information as to what we do as a group, as a collective, as a family. And there are endless rags to riches stories in there. The results speak for themselves. So if you're interested in that, of course, reach out to us at any time. We're always available. We're here to help. Thank you for joining us on this live training today. Trisha, thank you for your copy expertise, and we will see you guys.
You're welcome, Sivi. It's my pleasure to be here.
Cool. And we will see you guys next week for video marketing with Trisha. Okay? Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.